Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of this. I'm playing Final Fantasy XIV. Last episode we did stuff. Now we did more job quests, and today we're going to go and continue with even more job quests. Ah, Lynn, word of Estinian's disappearance from the infirmary has reached mine ears. Whilst part of me is quite capable of sympathizing with his desire to abandon the Holy See, I do wish he had said something ere his departure. But then, I suppose, it is only to be expected. With Nidhogg slain, the Horde's ranks have fallen into disarray, and they are not the threat they once were. Ishgard has scant need of an Azure Dragoon. Suffice it to say, one would imagine the role of the Dragoon shall similarly be forced to change, as we enter this new era of relative peace. However, whilst you may have saved Estinian from the Great Worm, my mind is yet plagued by Ostien's internal strife. Michelone lent her the strength needed to shake free from the dragon's blood's fierce grip. You're looking quite well, Sir Alberic and Mrs. Lynn. It's a pleasure to see you too. Lord Montergain. Lynn and I were just speaking of your daughter. That daughter of mine is in fact why I've sought you out. I was recently handed a letter by a merchant that has passed through the Jugwell Forest. If his words is to be believed, he was entrusted with this message by Hostien herself. The letter was a call for help. Mrs. Lynn, she bade you search for her. What a fury! Has she been set upon by heretics once more? Alas, there was no more information in her message. Not a day goes by that I do not pray for her safe return. Lynn, I must ask that you take up your lance once more to aid your fellow dragoon. Are you willing? Thank you, Mrs. Lynn. Hostien awaits you in Dravanian Forelands. Please help her with whatever she requests. Okay. To the place. There we go. Jeez. I was fishing for that freaking sneeze. Alright. Lynn. So the letter reached my father. I'm sorry for having you journey so far just to meet me. As you well know, I cannot return to Ishgard in my current condition. That said, the blood's hold on me is not as firm as it once was. This is largely thanks to a new ally of mine. His help has been invaluable in learning to control the dragon within. In fact, I have a mind to introduce him to you. Ornkai, Lynn has arrived. It's an honor to meet you, hero of men. Such have I heard from you from my father. He would often talk of the warrior that boasts the strength of a dragon. Ornkai has been a great friend ever since he first came across me suffering from the blood's effects. I very much doubt that I would be capable of standing here exchanging words with you, were it not for his help. I called you here in order to repay my debt to him. Ornkai, tell Lynn what troubles you. Yes, thank you. Long before I came into this world, in the age when man and dragon were at peace, my father had a consort. But the Dragonsong War tore them asunder. Father belonged to Racefelger's brood, as do I, but his consort was part of Nidhogg's. When Nidhogg demanded vengeance for the wrongs committed against him and Ratatoskr, Father asked his consort to fly far to the east. She bore no ill will towards man, and while she wanted nothing more than to stay by Father's side, she accepted his request and fled the conflict. However, your valiant actions have since put an end to the Dragonsong War. I am positive Father's consort will return if we inform her of the war's conclusion. Ornkai requires your aid to search for his father's consort and bring her back home. However, as she left Dravania some 1,000 summers past, locating her shall be far from an easy task. Under normal circumstances, I would help Ornkai myself, but while I am somewhat recovered, I am yet far from being in complete control. This is why I summoned you, Lynn. Your knowledge of the realm is unparalleled. I beg of you, aid Ornkai in his search. You have my sincerest thanks, Lynn. Thank you, Lynn. I owe you a debt of gratitude once more. Regrettably, whilst we know she's somewhere to the east, we are entirely ignorant as to the consort's precise whereabouts. I would suggest you first try asking Sir Alberic about Dravanian legends, specifically those concerning dragons in the east. Pray report back to me once you have learned something you deem pertinent. Okay. Oh, Alberic. He's placed in such an annoying place. At least I get to fly with my awesome crab. Big meaty claws. I love SpongeBob. Glad to see you safely returned. Were you able to locate Hostian? I see. She is correct to surmise that formidable dragons are often made the subject of local legend. I should discuss this with the congregation priest. I have known him to be quite an authority on Dravanian legend. Although, to think that a dragoon once gripped by the sole desire to slay dragons would now wish to help one. It's a queer new world indeed that we inhabit, though not one I dislike. But that matters not. I shall seek out that priest at once and raise your query with him. Pray return anon, and I shall impart my findings unto you. Right. Ninja time. Jesus. Hello, game? You good dude? That's scary. Welcome back, Lynn. You may enter. What's that? Oh, alas and alack. Whatever am I to do? Oh, Lynn, as a shinobi, I'm loath to admit this, but I did not see you come in. Come in. Truth be told, I have been somewhat distracted of late. Princess Yuki, it would seem, sent a letter to my village praising us for our efforts on her behalf, thus revealing my story of an injury, preventing me from making the journey home for the ruse that it was. But my shame is not that I have been summoned back to the village, but rather quite the opposite. Despite knowing that I am hale and hearty, my elders seem to be in no particular hurry to welcome me back into the fold. Should the time come when we have need of you in Doma, we shall summon for you. Until then, you are to remain at your post and do all in your power to aid our countrymen in Eorzea. Such were their words. Is this how far I have fallen? Am I as a falcon bereft of its claws, a dull blade tossed to the wayside by its master? For all I know, I've been all but exiled to this place. I'm sorry, Lynn. Heaven knows that you did not come here to listen to my griping. On a brighter note, I just received word from Captain Jack. It would seem some Easterners are causing something of a stir. I suppose I should be grateful that someone still has need of my services. Anyway, it would seem the Kami have led you here at a most opportune time. Would you care to accompany me? I thank you, my friends. Let us make for Limbs Elemenza and see what our friends at the Rogues Guild would ask of us. That we shall. Ah, Limbs Elementa. Busy as always. Where are we going? No, to the Rogues Guild. Where we go? Damn it, that doesn't work. Doesn't allow you to like skip anything. Hello. You're looking to head inside? Yes, yes, yes. Hey, Jack. Well, if it ain't the dimmerest dimer of 'em all. I trust you've been keeping your stabber sharpened, for with you and the boar on the job, I reckon all'll be bob before the dark winds comes around. Here's where we stand. One of my little birds in the Kraken's arm came chirping to me a story about some domans who I reckon are breaking one code or another. The same day, the Krakens that is, were out snilching the eastern seas when they grappled a vessel flying Guardian colours, and as they're wont to do, but then came the rub. The crew claimed to be doman, you see, and upon whittling their captor's identity, they changed tack, begging for asylum on the Orzen shores and offering the entirety of their cargo in full in return for safe passage. Call him a bede cove or a fool. The Kraken captain took the self-styled domans up on their offer, stowing the eastern treasures and the easterners themselves away in the hold. They set sail for Limsa. But after pulling into port, funny thing happened. No sooner had the Kraken dropped anchor than the refugees put in their best beater cases and skulked off into the dead of darkness, leaving all their treasures behind. All their treasures save one, a scroll of sorts that has been hiding in a corner, all inconspicuous like. Carvalane reckons that these Doman refugees have played us for some rum fun, and they're off selling the scroll on the black market for a good blunt even as we speak. I see, so you'd have us recover the scroll in question and bring the thieving Domans to justice. I'm honored to lend what aid I can. And yet, I cannot help but wonder, just what could it be about the scroll that makes it so valuable to my countrymen? Well, we're not going to whittle the scrap just sitting around here in our daddles now, are we? Let's snilch town and see what the common coves and moors have and haven't seen. Then, why don't you go and pay old toll one? Ah! A visit at the wench. I was really hoping I'd never have to read this man's lines, but unfortunately I do. If there's any rumours going around about any shifty Easterners, like us not that Mordred would know. You do remember what to order, eh? Of course, a dimmer dammer like yourself would. Good luck out there and keep your wattles open. We'll be waiting for you in Bulwark Hall when you're through. We! I understand. Old tall one, yeah. She's the barmaid. I remember her. Although I do not remember what I have to say. So that's gonna be a little bit shitty. Or maybe not. Could be that I see it and I'll have like a god moment and be like, neuron activate. Hello. Welcome to the Drowning Wench. What's your pleasure, miss? What was it again? Was that chilled ale? Certainly, miss. Take a seat and I'll bring it straight to your... Change your mind? Bruh. Is it a strong ale? Ah, yes. I love being wrong. Ah, you must be here on business. Mayhap I could offer you something from our underground menu? Now what's your fancy? She's adorable. Guests from the east, you say? Why, yes, I do believe we had some visitors not long ago matching the description. They left shortly before you arrived. I make a habit of pricking my ears up to catch our patrons' every whisper, but the party in question requires little such effort. Why, they were shouting of tales of riches and glory in a roar that could wake the dead. They said they were on their way to Wineport to make a transaction of a lifetime, though they weren't keen on going into detail. Just between us, I wouldn't be surprised if there was something less than savory about their business. Speaking of savory, can I interest you in our seafood stew? No, bye. I need to go to Bulwark Hall. I think I can get there with the elevator, right? Yeah. Oh, build a lift that don't work! Hello. So lads are added to Wineport, eh? Many work, Lynn. Remind me to slip a tall one. Some extra blunt next time we stop by the wench for libations. Oh, I hate you. I love you as a character, but I hate your speech so much. That said, something doesn't sit right with me. Cackling their plans for every drunkard and tavern wench to hear. I reckon our friends might be looking to amuse us, if you whittle my gist. Keep your eyes open and your stabbers sharp, mates. Hey, yo, Captain Jack. Oh, there's a bleeding surprise. The code-breaking curs have already bit the blow and hopped the twig, with a caravan worth of bingo in tow. Word is they were last seen beating the path for Bloodshore. Well, what could they mean to? Wait a bleeding moment. What if the grog's not meant for selling, but keeping their throats wet in a long voyage? I reckon our lads are trying to smuggle the scroll home. There's no time to lose. Let's brush up our beater cases and make for Bloodshore all quick like. We're in all snilch the north side. Lynn, you the south. You have to catch these curs before they slip from our daddles for good. I hate your speech. So much. I cannot wait until I am done with your speech. You just stop poking your nose in our business, eh? Guess you'll leave us no choice. Buddy. Buddy, old pal. Well, that's what you get. Play with fire, you get burned. As they say. Hashtag cringe. What's up, my dudes? Let me guess. I came upon a couple of rough-looking coves. This ghost came waving her stars in my face before I could edge a word. Edging a word. Reckon 'twas the same for you? The squaw's nowhere to be seen, nor is anything resembling a ship. If I did not know better, I would say they were a simple group of ruffians enjoying their ill-gotten grog. A dim one sees, but does he truly see? No, these unfortunate men were but pawns in a grand scheme, as disposable as the bottles that now litter the shore. Sure wonder who this is. Meanwhile, your true quarry has boarded a trader and sails for Kugane, even as we speak, under the auspices of the East Aldenar Trading Company, no less. So cunning a scheme, I wish I'd thought of it myself. Or did I? How do you know all? Bugger me, you're the cove from the House of Styx. Corsair Redbeak. Childhood friends turned bitter enemies, then friends once more reunited after far too long. Our hero returns and the audience swoons. Oh, what a joyous day. Or is it? I'll say this much, dim one, for once you've managed to surprise me. To think that the oh-so-serious Aurora would lie to his elders to avoid having to make the journey home, only to find he wasn't welcome to begin with. Ooh, the irony of it all. Enough of your preening and prattling, Karasu. I want answers. How did you know where we were? Just what is your connection to the thieves you pursue? You mean the thieves who already elude your clumsy grasp? Just as I'm about to do. I fear that is a story for another day. Ah, I've heard a slippery bird, that one. That daft rook's an acquaintance of yours? That's news to Jack's waddles. Meanwhile, we've got a work cut out for us if we still want to grabble that scroll. Is there anywhere we can have a few wits, you know, secret like? So no more Captain Jack. It's like with Avid, our base of operations is but a short walk from these parts. Then pray join us at the storehouse. Okay. Okay. Byakubu. Karasu Redbeak. Of all the places I thought our search might lead us, never in my wildest dreams did I think it would lead us to him. Describe me, Abora. Just who is this Karasu Cove? Can we trust him, or is it like us not to stick his stabbers in our back the moment we turn a blind eye? No, I mean, yes. I mean, he's neither. Both. Perhaps I should say it's complicated. Judging from your reaction, it sure seems as much. Anyway, if our men have set sail for Ingashi, I reckon we've no choice but to do the same. I wasn't exactly preparing for a long voyage, but damned if I'll leave this job half done. That said, ashamed as I am to admit it, this is old Jack's first journey to the forest. We're no Kagane from a rum ducks is ours. And I don't know a rogue who can do his work without knowing the lay of the land. We're not Captain Jack. I have travelled there on many an occasion to procure the tools of my trade from the finest Hingan artisans. It would be my pleasure to serve as your guide. Your presence would be most heartening as well, Lynn. Kagane is a city where anything can happen. There's no telling what dangers await us there. I'll agree with that, but mind you, Lynn's a busy Mort. I'd say we do it this way. The boy and I will go on ahead and we'll send for you once we've snilched out the place and worked out on our next plan of action. A reasonable plan, Captain Jack. In that case, Lynn, pray check in at the storehouse from time to time. I will send word to Yomei, I guess, when we require your services. In the meantime, may the Kami guide you in your training. Right. Cool. Time for Samurai. Also, I haven't shown this off yet, but this is really funny to me. If I like shake her around, the freaking dress shakes with her. It's pretty fun. Anyway, moving on. Oh, I almost forgot to mention, a woman had come calling on Musasai at the inn. Judging by her appearance, she's a compatriot and a samurai. At that time I couldn't bring myself to break the news to her, but in hindsight, perhaps it's best that it came from you anyway, seeing as you were Musasai's pupil. The visitor is in front of the quicksand. You'll recognize her by her dignified air. You appear to be a samurai, yet you are not of our land. May I ask who addresses me? Well, that you should be Master Musasai's pupil. Tell me, might I find him? Dead in the snow. I mean, what? Is that the way of it? Words cannot well express my sorrow. I had the honor of being acquainted with your master in the past. Permit me to introduce myself. I am Makoto of the Sekisegumi. Ours is the peacekeeping force of Kagane, a port city in Hingashi. I journeyed across the seas, hoping to meet with Master Musasai, but it seems I must settle for paying my respects. Might I trouble you to show me to his resting place? The Silver Bazaar, you call it? I am in your debt. Let us away then. I'm so ridiculously interested in this job quest, honestly. All of them intrigue me. Maybe I should check my XP amount. Just for future... Well, red mentions are actually closer than to each other than I thought I would be. Right. Perish, desperate mongrel. And your friend, Desperate Mongrel B. Why would it... I hate... I really need to, like, make my targeting system work properly. I also forgot that I am on the level of these enemies. Need to remember that. There's no mistaking your blade work. Indeed, Master Musasai trained you. Forgive me for standing idle as you fought, but I had to make certain that you spoke the truth. Master Musasai seldom took on pupils, you see, but any doubt I may have harbored has been utterly dispelled. Now then, let us continue on. A beautiful ocean view. You will surely be at peace here. As you may know, Master Musasai had one other pupil before you. Ugetsu is his name, and he is wanted in Hingashi for the murder of countless dignitaries in the Bakufu, our nation's government. Though his weren't the hands that wielded the blade, Master Musasai created the killer. In the eyes of the law, he was deemed no less responsible. As a samurai, he was expected to commit seppuku in order to atone for the crime, but he refused. As a result, he was branded a craven in Hingashi. But naught could be further from the truth. Master Musasai fled not because he feared death. This I knew in my heart. And beholding your blade work, I know now what it was he sought to do. He wished to make amends by training a new pupil. Such was the shame he felt. Death was not sufficient atonement. Nay, the only way he might know peace was to begin anew, with a worthy successor who would bring him honor. Know that Ugetsu is no common killer. He's a notorious insurgent who seeks to tear down the status quo. No few samurai sympathize with his cause, and every day more rally to his banner. For a time he remained in hiding, but our operatives report that he has recently resurfaced in Kugane. By all indications, he is poised to strike a heavy blow against Bakufu. It was for no other purpose but to petition Master Musasai's aid that I returned here, that I journeyed here. Alas, it was not to be. As I came, so too must I return, alone. My thanks for showing me here. Brief though it was an honor to meet you. Still like a really nice looking blade. Even though I do think that the guard is a little bit too big. The thing I've noticed with like katanas in this game in any case, like the other thing that I really like the blades can look really awesome, but the scabbard doesn't need to be like over the top, you know? Like even this, I kind of wish that it wasn't that shiny. Even though I understand it because it's like it's Shiva's blade, so it's supposed to be icy. Yeah, it still works very well, but you know, it's a tiny little gripe that I have with a lot of katanas in this game. You took her to see Musasai? Doubtless he was happy to have a visitor, and one from his homeland besides. So the wayward pupil is up to no good again. It's certainly worrying, but there isn't much outsiders like us can do. We can only hope that Makoto and her comrades will triumph over this Ugetsu. I'll let you return to your business and pay me a visit from time to time. You hear? It's lonely without the old man around. Right, and then we have the next thing at level 63 again. Let us go and do the bard. It's been a while since I've been a bard. Or definitely feels like it. My bard bros! Ah, my dear Lin, how good for you to pay me a visit, and a timely one at that. Our friend Sanson, with whom you journeyed, I met with him but recently, and it pleases me to say that his labours have finally borne fruit. Ah, his proposal for a unit incorporating bards has received formal approval. Even as we speak, he is rounding up members for the unit's inaugural mission. Now, during our conversation, Sanson mentioned he had a favor to ask of you. In case you haven't yet heard from him, mayhap you could seek him out first. If you are like to find him at Quiver's Hole. Lynn, it's good to see you. Our hard work is paid off, my friend. I've received permission to establish my Bard unit. Moreover, we've already been assigned our first mission. I couldn't be more pleased. Save for one practical concern, our new recruits yet lack the experience to embark on an honest-to-God's mission. In seeking to fill our ranks, I immediately thought of you, Lynn. You are an exemplary among bards, and I should be greatly heartened for your participation in our maiden outing. I've also taken the liberty of requesting Gidalot's transfer to my unit. Or to the unit. With your combined experience and skill, we are bound to leave a splendid first impression. Now then, I will go to receive my orders from Commander Huayu. Huayua? Or Hua? It's not Huayu, because that's like Ryu. So it's Hulwa? Hulwa, sure. May I assume that you join me? That you will join me? May I say that I, too, have a vested interest in young Sanson's success? I should be personally grateful for you to lend him your aid, Lynn. Right, I forgot about that. Run, Lynn. Use your legs. I used to be able to walk like that. If it isn't Lynn, by all accounts, you were instrumental in the success of Captain Smith's previous expedition. We are glad for your cooperation. Now then, allow me to brief you on this mission, or on the mission. Our order has received an anonymous letter, one that makes certain claims. We would have your unit verify the truth of it. There is a tome that holds a damning secret pertaining to the Autumn War. Should you desire it, send your most capable to the 9 Ivies. I'll be waiting. The war between Gridania and Alamigo, but that ended 100 years ago. Unable to imagine what secrets could exist that could be so damning even now. Might just not be an ill-conceived prank, Commander. The leadership believes it likely, to be sure, but it is not a risk they are willing to take. Nay, not with the winds of public sentiment blowing as they are. You all know that our order is involved in the Alliance campaign to liberate Alamigo. Well, there are those among the citizenry that disapprove, a small but determined faction that refuses to forget the wrongs of a century past. They still view Alamigo as the enemy and ardently oppose our reaching out a hand of succor. Not potentially incendiary can be allowed to stoke the people's discontent. But we must move quickly. Your mission is to make contact with the letter's sender and ascertain the nature of the secret. Call that a mission? A bloody errand, more like. Gonna be ours to handle it yourself, so you're foisted on the eager new unit. It's your boy. And if the secret proves inconvenient for Gridania, what then? Will you sweep it under the rug along with all our hard work? Gidalot, mind your tongue. You're addressing a superior officer. Ah, so you're the famous Gidalot. Worry not, my friends. Whatever the secret turns out to be, I give you my personal assurance that you and yours will receive due credit for its discovery. That's good enough for me. It's been forever since me and Lynn last performed together. And I just want to enjoy the moment. No complicating factors, you know? The Autumn War is an emotional subject for Gridanians. The older generation especially. And for us bards, it is also notable for the involvement of singing archers. Or singing? I guess. In the course of our mission, I dare say there will be much to reflect upon and many opportunities to grow. I wish the three of you the best of luck. Without further ado, let us make haste to 9 Ivies before Gidalot can exercise any more discretion. Nine Ivies. Go, my flying dog. What the dog doing? Well met, friends. I am Nurval, a humble citizen of Gridania, and I see you received my letter. We've come as you bid. The tome, if you'd be so kind. Ah, but I never said I had that I had that. And to be clear, I do not. What? Then why did you summon us here? Patience, my friend. I will explain. You see, like many Gridanians, I have an ancestor who fought in the Autumn War. 'Twas he who first learned of the tome in question. After the fighting had ended. In turn, I learned it from my parents, and since I have dreamed of poring over its pages. Alas, as it lies deep within Alamegan territory, I was resigned never to have the chance. But then the brave soldiers of the Alliance took Bells as well, and the way was made clear. When I heard the tidings, the flames of my boyhood passion were rekindled. Finally, I can fulfill my dream. Or so I told myself, before I thought better of it. I am no soldier, you see, and the prospect of wandering a war-ravaged land in search of a tome is, frankly, unrealistic. That's why I decided to reach out to your order for cooperation. Based on my parents' account, I am confident that I can track down the tome, and I will help you to find it. I ask only that you take me with you. So, what say you? I am but a commoner, and know little of the ways of the nations. But it seems to me such secrets as the tome conceals could be harmful to diplomatic relations. Is this not so? So, if we wish to find the tome, we must agree to your company. Quite a demand to make of your nation. Ha! Got stones, that's for sure. I like it. Are you serious? A civilian is essentially holding us to ransom, and you praise him for his stones? Look at it this way. We didn't know the tome existed, nor have we the faintest idea where to look for it. Better to have help than to fumble about blind, I reckon. Come on, Lynn, back me up here. He sure has stones! Seems we have no choice. I suppose you have the right of it. Whether we like it or not, we would struggle without Nerval's knowledge. Very well, we agree to your terms. And here's ours. You must obey our orders at all times. To the letter, sir! You shan't regret bringing me on. First, we will make for Castle Morgans, presently held by the Order of the Twin Adder. Thence, we will make our way into the unknown. I guess it's gonna be another quest gonna be blocked. By me not being able to go into the fucking... Yep! Well... Rip that quest. Anyway. Time for the machinist. It do be like that. It really do be like that, huh? Time for guns. Let's see if this one will take me beyond the Great Wall. My boy! Lynn, how fortuitous that you should choose to... Yes. How fortuitous that you should choose this moment to visit. Pray forgive my abruptness. But are you acquainted with Ishgard's watch and the commoners who fill its ranks? Surely you've worked with Hilda before. Splendid. Absolutely splendid. Let us then discuss the problem at hand. Following our fair city's shift to a more egalitarian form of government, there's been talk of arming the city watch with machinist weapons and equipment. The very type of initiative for which I have long advocated, and as part of this plan, I have been asked to provide a competent instructor. But as dearly as I wished to fulfill this request of Hilda's, I'm afraid suitable candidates for the role are in woefully short supply. Surely you've heard news of the situation in Alamigo, yes? Well, that little conflict has seen the manufactory swamped with commissions for both material and marksmen, and I've not a single machinist to spare. I was even forced to relinquish Joy, my indispensable right-hand woman, to some far-flung deployment. And so, Lynn, you must see why your presence here this day strikes me as something of a godsend. Who better to accept this position than our most accomplished machinist? I understand, of course, that you have your own business to attend to, and can hardly spend every waking moment training the watch. Thus do I intend to share your duties with our old friend Rostenthal. Aside from his extensive knowledge of firearms, he was once the Commodore of the Knights of the Barracuda. Such experience should prove invaluable to the watch's leadership. He is the natural choice to serve as your partner in this enterprise. From what I've been told, our former instructor was recently spotted arriving in Ilshire. Pray come along, then, and lend me a hand in persuading the foul-mouthed brigand to return to Ishgard. Have you seen this place, Lynn? My prospectometer is simply overloaded by such potential. What a goblin technology amassed in the main square alone could keep me tinkering for days. Not that we'll be here nearly that long. Wasn't all a striking fellow? Someone is bound to have noticed him. Shall we ask around? Can I just do a guided tour of... Oh, just a question. I've seen such a man. He was just walking down the street, as a matter of fact. Ah, a big lad with an eye patch, yes. I marked his passage as I would that of any dangerous beast. Stay your path and you'll find him, like as not. I've seen your man headed into the hard place. He was all swarthy and mysterious like. And I have a mind to follow him in there. Oh my. Oh my! What's up? How you doing? Ah, I see you've kept one step ahead of me, Lynn. At least this time around, our new instructor was not so damnably difficult to locate, eh? I thought I heard some familiar voices. How brings it to you all the way, our dear? Not just a yearning to glimpse this ugly mug again, that much is certain. Astute as always, my friend. We have, in fact, come with an offer of employment. Only to teach trigger work again? Bugger that. Why don't you have Joy do it? Joy is far too humble to fare well as an instructor, and is fully occupied by other manufacturing businesses besides. You also have considerable experience with commanding a military company, if I'm not mistaken. Are you bloody daft, or did you just forget me? Piss poor leadership by the kudas as it would ruin my reputation in the first place. Do you honestly reckon a man like me is fit to take charge of training in your city watch? Well, if you haven't the stones for it. You're trying to tickle me pride, lass. Bah, you seem damn determined to not let an old pirate sit and rust in peace. Then this means you'll accept? Trim your sails there, boss. I'll make my final decision after I've had a chat with this last what leads to watch. It seems we must arrange a meeting with Hilda. Would you mind handling the introductions? My thanks. Now, I really should be getting back to the workshop. I have a small mountain of munitions to make if I'm to honor all these commissions. To the manufactory pride, my friends. Ugh, and just when I was getting bleeding warm again. I'll see you in Isgard, Lynn. Oh. May as well walk. We're doing the walk. Are we clear, or must I repeat myself in simple terms? I expect very little from your low-born riffraff. If you wish to serve Ishgard, then know your place and keep well out of our way. Bastard blue blood. He'd not wag his tongue like that if his boss was around. And a fine day to you, Lynn. Little bird told me you'd be on your way. The lads and lasses were well pleased to hear they'd been learning at the foot of Ishgard's savior. And you must be Rosenthal, eh? I'll warn you right now. Watches are raw lots. They ain't used to formal training. And you'll need to work 'em hard before they'll count for more than cannon fodder. Work 'em hard, you say? I do things the pirate way, lass. I'll have 'em pissing blood and wailing for their mums by the first bell. I'll see about that. I don't know about Lims's back alleys, but the broom's not a place what suffers wilting daisies. My lot lack in skill, they make up for in spirit. Huh, I like a challenge. Now, tell me more about how this watch of yours fits into Ishgard's defenses. Well, we're officially back in the arms of the Erzin Lions, ain't we? And seeing as a good chunk of the Temple Knights have been marched out to Alamega, the streets are a bit thin on soldiers. That's when the watch comes in. We've been something of an independent operation till now. But the house wants to put us on the payroll. They mean to use our numbers to plug the holes in the walls, as it were. And the best part is we get paid to do more of what we was doing for naught. Coin in our purses and food in our bellies. Can't complain about that. Aye, but the arrangement's not to everyone's liking. There's inquisitors and nobles alike looking to trip us up at every turn. They ain't keen on the idea of commoners being armed and organised. Reckon the only way to shut those bastards down is by convincing everyone else that the watch is something worth keeping. But if you mean to prove ourselves, we need proper equipment and training. That's why I took most of the coin we'd been given and went begging to Lord Aelnard. Now we have firearms and two clever blighters to teach us how to use them. Aye, I've heard enough. We can't properly protect folk who don't recognise your authority. Just do as old Rosenthal says, and we'll soon teach them bastards to respect you. Here's what we're going to do first. Gather a crew of your finest lads and lasses and slap a name on them. One what will get them naysayers to sit up and take notice. What, you mean an elite company like the Dragoons of the Heaven's Ward? I reckon a good name might impress some of the highborn, but I'll be buggered if I can think of one. Well, let's see. How about Hilda's Hounds? Oh, you mean Hilda's Hounds? Well, I do like the sound of that. What do you say, lads? As soon as they've handpicked the crew for the Hounds, I'll start teaching them the basics. Then after they've had a chance to learn the barrel from stock, you can come back and test their skills. Sound like a fair division of labour? Right then, I'll whip them I'll whip them into shape before you know it. Let's just see let's see just how tough these born bastards really are. Ha 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 ha. Alright. That is, my friends, where I'm going to leave it off. I hope you enjoyed this episode of just us playing Final Fantasy XIV. And next episode, we are going to go and do the Black Mage, Summoner, and Red Mage quest lines. Or, well, the first quest in any case. And depending on how much time, we may do a little bit of MSQ, but I don't know, and I don't think so. Anyway, goodbye.